And you walk into the Superdome, and it's the best closed stadium I think they can hold a WrestleMania in, and it's an amazing feeling. And the place is just a buzz. Like everyone is, everyone is like, wow, excited. Everyone's talking. People are greeting each other because they haven't seen each other since last year. Which at this WrestleMania I didn't have that, but the coming ones, you would start, and you settle, and then you start to settle in, and you watch a great show. Tag team match was good, like you were watching, and everyone was, everyone was like engaged to it. But like the whole thing is, you're still waiting for the main course. This is an appetizer, and the whole time there is a big timer on the big arena screens, not the Titantron, but the stadium screens themselves, counting down to WrestleMania. So you keep looking at it and like, oh my god, it's 5 minutes to WrestleMania, or like 4 minutes or whatever. You get the hitters, and it kicks off. Hulk Hogan comes out. He's the host. They already announced it, so he's not a big surprise. And he talks, and then he says Silverdome once, and everyone's like looking at each other. Did he just say Silverdome? What is this? And then he says it again, and like, whoa, he said it again, and that's when the Superdome chant started, because clearly, Hogan, you don't know where you are. Like, one time is a slip of the tongue, the second time is you're confused. Oh. And Austin comes out.
Man's old.
Go on. Yes. Tell me.
Listen, the man is old.
Yeah, the man is old. Yeah, what you can do. But it was a nice recovery. Like, I'm sorry, brothers. It's the Superdome, not the Silverdome. Like, at least he owned up to it. And Austin and Rock both teasing him about it was great. It's like, I remember the glass breaks, so Austin comes out, and a lot of people thought Austin was going to be there because we knew he was at JR's show on Thursday, which, by the way, I attended that as well, and it was also a great show. Speaking of which, meeting JR was also a goosebumps moment, because JR treated me with so much kindness, it was overwhelming. Because when I told him I came all the way from the UAE, and he said, wow, so how long did it take? I told him the flight was 14 hours. I went to LA, then I came back and made a trip. Well, he said, wow, that's some dedication. And he said, and we got our photo. He signed a couple posters for me. And as I was leaving, because, I don't like to take up much, like, I got my moment, so, like, leave on a high note. I'm going to leave now. And he said, Mohamed, I really respect that you came all this way to watch us. And everyone here should respect it as well. And I'm like, wow, thank you, JR. Oh my god, Jim Ross just put me over. It's with a group of marks, but still. Wow. He even tweeted, like, I met some great fans from Abu Dhabi and some other place, and I was like, holy shit. Jim Ross just tweeted about me. I'm sorry, I'm fanboying again. Anyways. Going back to it, going back to WrestleMania, and then Steve Austin said, great to be back here in the Did Steve Austin say Superdome or Silverdome? I can't remember. He said it was some way to make it, with an emphasis on it. I think he said Superdome, but he emphasized on it so just, Hogan can feel that much worse. And then when The Rock came out, everyone just lost their shit. Like, everyone's like, oh my god, The Rock is here. And you're like watching, and there's this greatness of 3 different generations in it. And Rock's promo was pretty damn awesome, honestly, because The Rock tied the past, the present, to the future. It's a great show. And honestly, while The Rock was saying, like, I was sitting there, John Cena's dad was on the seat in front of us, and in front of him was The Rock's family. We're like to the right of the ramp. So the wrestler is walking down the ramp to the ring. I'd be to his right. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So, and that's actually the time where, the Titantron was showing The Rock, so I just lifted the flag, tried to get it on TV as much as I could, and it got on the big screen, but little to my knowledge, they had cut away to commercial, so it wasn't on TV. And Daniel Bryan versus Triple H, amazing match. Again, that music video with the song Monster by Imagine Dragons got you into it. And came out, and I remember just, like, those boots were strange. He had like goat skin boots because, he was the goat. He had the goat face thing going.
Yeah.
The flying goat.
Yeah.
And
I didn't like it either.
and this is actually match of the night. I mean, like, I don't think you can dispute this much. It's bell to bell. This is the best match going in. Which is, it sounds weird about me saying that about a match where the Undertaker was on the card, but it's what's right is right. You're riding this high, and Triple H's entrance was awesome. Like, you could see them showing the package, and this is where you see the behind the scenes stuff where they're putting the skull thing together so Triple H can make his entrance out. They had the big thing where the skull and the thing and everything. And I actually was there live for the WrestleMania debuts of Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss as Triple H's Val.
Oh, yes. I know, yeah. They was there. And funny enough, I knew that was Charlotte. I just didn't know who Bliss and Sasha Banks was at the time.
I think
Charlotte sticks out the most.
I figured out Charlotte and Bliss, but not Sasha, or the other way around.
Yeah.
Like, I knew Charlotte. I knew one of the other girls. I can't remember which is the other one. I didn't remember. But... yeah. It's great, and they're using that song, what's it called? Oh, Verona, for him when he's taking off the helmet and everything. That's perfect. And then Danny Bryan just comes out in his plain, like, it's also that stark contrast about Triple H is the privileged, half owner of the married to the All-Star, and Danny Bryan is just, the common man and the Yes Movement, and he's coming out. And that match was awesome. Danny Bryan wins. Then the Shield versus the New Age Outlaws and Kane. Again, utter chaos this match was, because you're looking at the New Age Outlaws, then you look at the Shield, then you look back at the stage with Kane. Incidentally, Kane's flaming pyro, it is so hot. That's like, I'm at the ring. I'm almost at the ring, and I feel it on my face. I feel my face burning from that pyro. So when Joey Styles says something like, God, that's hot, remember when he used to do that for Kane's entrance? You can understand. I always say that whenever like I'm in the ring, I'm at the wrestling show and Kane's pyro hits, I go, God, that's hot. Just, my little personal tribute to Joey. Did I say Joey Ryan?
No, you said Joey Styles.
I did say Joey Styles, right? I'm trying to remember the first time did I say Joey Styles or Ryan? I said Joey Styles. Thank you. Joey
yes,
Styles.
you did. Yeah, because I would have said something. Okay.
Yeah. And this match was great. The 31-man Andre the Giant Battle Royal. People don't understand. There were two streaks that were broken in this match. Fandango went from being undefeated at 1-0 to 1-1, and also under the radar, Miz was undefeated at WrestleMania until this match.
Yes.
He got
weird. That just popped in my head. Yes, because you're right. Because he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got eliminated by Santino. So what you can do? But Cesaro, the way Cesaro eliminated the Big Show, that was amazing. I think Cesaro winning it got the people to cheer, but the way that Cesaro just basically picked up the Big Show and threw him over the top rope, that's what got people absolutely nuts. And you move on to, again, this is a classic WrestleMania where they didn't overstuff it with matches. It's basically your four main matches, and then there's like three matches in between: the Divas match, the Battle Royal, and the Shield versus the Authority. And I remember when they played the video package for this match, and if you remember, it had the Eminem song Legacy. And everyone in that stadium is singing along with it, going, and this is my legacy. Yeah. You don't hear it on TV because they went straight to the video package, but in the arena we were like singing the same thing. And great match. Like, I think the crowd was more enamored with Bray Wyatt that we were like, focusing on everything. We were like watching. We were like basically marking out over white for most of the match, and we started singing "He's got the whole world in his hand." It was more, it was more prominent on the Raw after. Yeah, it was more prominent on the Monday Night Raw the night after, but at WrestleMania it actually did start, and like I said, right in front of us was John Cena's dad, and next to me is this British guy who calls himself WWE Superman. I don't know if you guys have seen him on TV sometimes when they were used to be in the UK or so. There's this guy who dresses like Superman and has a WWE logo on his chest. Yeah, it's his gimmick as a fan. Yeah. And I remember specifically because at WrestleMania 30, this is my first time I meet him. He has the classic Superman thing, and then the next year, 2015, he has the Man of Steel Superman because he changes with the times. And anyway, this guy like cracks jokes, so he's like, "Where's Papa Cena? Oh, there he is. Go help your son." And Cena's dad popped with it. and that afterwards, like Cena's dad started, being an entertainer himself. He's like, the Whites are interfering. He's like, "Ref, they should be kicked out, ref. Ref, they should be kicked out. They can't be interfering like that. Who are you working for? The Wyatts?" It's an awesome. And Cena wins, which sucked the air out of us for a while. But then, Undertaker and Brock Lesnar was next, so like, we're back again. And I remember I was like 3 seats away from the aisle itself, and I asked the guy at the aisle, is like, "Just for the Undertaker's entrance, can I stand in front of you? So we'll both be on the aisle, and I just, I want to take in the Undertaker's entrance, and we can." And say what you want about the match, and Joe, you can attest to this, so can James. Experiencing an Undertaker entrance live is something out of this world. It's just
I will. And I'm sorry to say this, because I'm the only one but it's second to The Fiend. As The Undertaker than The Fiend. Yes. When The Fiend comes out, it's just something different and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he milks it.
Mm-hmm. And it's the whole, atmospheric entrance. That's why it's also...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I just, I remember like doing it, and the whole like putting the caskets out. Again, this is like all red herring because everything about this match is geared towards Undertaker winning. Even the build-up where the Undertaker is like, he has the upper hand all the way until the go home Raw where Brock Lesnar F5s him and makes him look human. Which, when you think about it, okay, this is how you build it up. You sow the seeds of doubt that Brock Lesnar could actually win it. But then the Undertaker comes out on top, and they had all the caskets with the the victims or the streakers. Anyway, the opponents laid out.
Streakers.
Yeah, that sounded wrong. Anyway, it was a slip of the tongue. I resent anyone thinking that I just wanted to say the word streakers on camera. That's not what it was intended at all. That's not. Anyway, and then I stand in the aisle. The Undertaker passes by me, does the whole entrance. I go back and I'm such a mark. I thank the guy so profusely. I'm like, "Thank you, sir. Thank you, and go back to my seat. And we're sitting there, and the whole match, I'm gonna say this, the match is not earth-shattering. I'm pretty sure the match they had at SummerSlam 2015 was the match the Undertaker wanted to have if he had not been concussed so early in the match as it seems. And we're out there because this match is flowing. It's a typical Undertaker match where Brock Lesnar does the whole thing where he punches him in the corner and gets to the last ride, and then the Undertaker tombstone and he kicks out. Brock Lesnar flies, and we're discussing a group, a lot of fans, the area surrounding me. We're so strange. We're discussing two things. The first thing is, where does Lesnar go from here now that he lost to The Undertaker? And the second thing is, who's The Undertaker's next opponent? So if you want, like, when I tell you that we did not see this coming at all, we did not see this coming at all. Not a second. Lesnar hit him with 3 F5s. And on the third one, just as they were counting, I was doing the math in my head. Well, this is the third one. Oh my. It could be it. No, but Undertaker's gonna kick out. Like, I was dismissing the whole thing. I was like, I'm not even gonna entertain the notion that the Undertaker's gonna lose. And then 1, 2, 3. And you can hear a pin drop in there. It's the most surreal moment ever, because like I'm in there, and you're experiencing the air being sucked out of an entire stadium of 70,000 people. And I liken it to the first 5 stages of grief, because you're first trying to rationalize this thing. And my first rationale was the ref fucked up. That was not supposed to happen. There was something that's wrong. Someone screwed up in here. And then it didn't set in for anyone. I tell you, it didn't set in for anyone until they actually put that graphic up on the screen. And you can hear it. 21-1 comes up, and you can hear an audible collective, oh! Then it's not even like an oh, like an enthusiastic oh. It's like, oh! I can't believe this. And damn, it's a pretty great WrestleMania. It might not be the greatest WrestleMania ever, but it might pretty much be the most historic WrestleMania ever for this one moment. And the Brock Lesnar leaves, and then the Undertaker sits up, or tries to sit up. He holds the ropes, and everyone gives him a standing ovation going up. And I remember these two, couple, 3 or 4 rows behind me, going down, and they're like, lose to someone who's coming up, not lose to Brock Lesnar. Like, who's thinking about that right now? Like, the Undertaker just lost. Like, let's stay in this moment. It's unbelievable. And you still, like, you cheer him, and you can't understand it, and he leaves. And I remember at that moment, me, like the guy sitting here with you guys doing this podcast, I swore off wrestling in the heat of that moment. I was like, I think I'm done. I don't think I want to watch wrestling anymore. Of course, that was a phase, and it went by quickly. But
you just don't do it.
It was until the next night. Yeah. But that's how devastated I was. How devastated, I can't remember, but for 2 minutes my hands were on my head like this, and I couldn't believe, and a lot of texts came into me to check on me. That's because apparently I'm known as the Undertaker guy. Shocker. Anyway, and my friend who went on the trip with me but got like a lower package because he's on this trip because he wants to see the US and this is a new world to him, so he's like sitting in the risers, and I couldn't see it, but he texted me in Arabic a lot, and he's like, what the hell just happened? They shouldn't have done that. And like, he's telling me people are leaving, and I didn't see that until during the women's match. You're still processing, you're doing this, you're looking, and a guy talks to me and says, a guy calls me on Twitter and texts me on Twitter and says, are you okay, because I think you just saw the Undertaker's last match. And then my phone went dead during the main event, so people got more concerned about me. I had to what can you do? But I remember somewhere between the Divas match, Daniel Bryan coming out, I looked up into the Superdome, and there were these mass patches of empty seats now. a lot of people left. A lot of people just, what the fuck? I didn't go that far, which, I don't know. I was, but
Pay good money for that, though, my son. Pay good money.
I paid my money for that, exactly. I'm not like gonna go for half a show. And besides, Daniel Bryan was still a powerful story, and I wanted to see it end, but I wasn't as enthusiastic for it. I always make the joke that when Daniel Bryan came out for the main event, instead of going yes, 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 a lot of us were going okay, okay, okay. Because it was a devastating shot, and instead of no, people were going yes, but people were doing yes, the yes chants half-heartedly. Now it's like yes, yes, yes. I'm still like, what do you want from me? The Undertaker just lost. Lee. Later on, met a guy here who went to WrestleMania. He's from the UAE. Who went to WrestleMania with his wife, and he talks to me and he says this was our first WrestleMania too, WrestleMania 30. And when the women's match started, my wife said, "Don't be eyeing the girls now." And he's like, "Leave me alone. Why would I eye the girls? The Undertaker just lost." Just talk about eyeing the girls now. But credit to Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and Batista, they brought us back into it. So it also became there was an air of danger because the Undertaker just lost. Anything can happen. Even Daniel Bryan not winning the WWE and WCW combined championships into the.
And that's why I think they planned it out to be that way. Because then a riot would have started then.
I was thinking, a small part of me wanted to see what might happen if Daniel Bryan did lose. I was like, and I was thinking,
hold on. Not just lose, but Batista winning.
Yeah.
That'll be the thing.
Yeah. And I was like, I was thinking if that happens, the railing is right over there. I'm just gonna stick to the railing. Because I was thinking, and everyone was worried because now every near fall that was not Daniel Bryan, everyone was worried about it. So Orton tries to pin Batista, but Batista kicks out, and a "Thank you, Jesus" chant breaks out. Because Bray Wyatt lost, The Undertaker lost the streak. Let us have Bryan. Just let us have this guy, please. And Daniel Bryan wins. And if you look over my right shoulder right here, there's a right next to the gramophone, there is a framed picture. And wait, let me get this closer here, just a second.
Yeah.
This is probably the best picture that I, as a photographer, have taken, and it's Daniel Bryan. Okay, let me turn off this light here.
Yeah.
It's Daniel Bryan. Can you guys see?
I saw.
Yeah. It's Daniel Bryan holding the championships off. I took this picture at WrestleMania. It's my finest work as a photographer. And the next year at WrestleMania 31 Access, I got him to sign it for me.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my most prized possessions. At least we got that moment. It's... Wait, can you guys see me? It's too dark now. At least we got that moment. And I remember walking back from the Superdome to the hotel, which was in the French Quarter, so it's good 20-30 minute walk. And I had completely forgotten because I was, ringside that I get to take the chair with me. And I'm walking. I have this heavy backpack on me because it had a power bank that ran out of juice when I needed it the most. My phone is dead. I'm carrying around this steel chair, which is making it awkward to walk. And The Undertaker just lost. I was kind of, I was low-key miserable. And this guy kept pestering me about buying the chair. And I'm like, I'm not going to sell it. Dude, I I experienced the Undertaker streak ending while sitting in this chair. I'm not gonna sell this chair for the world. And great. It's an awesome WrestleMania. Again, like, I was pissed off at that moment, but like over time I came to appreciate how unique and how special that moment was. How it's never going to happen again, and I'm glad I was there for it. I'm glad it's the streak ending, but at least I got to witness part of the streak. It's the last part, but it's the
Right.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us on the Outlaw Macho Drive-In. If you liked that video, please click like and subscribe to our channel for more content from the Drive-In. For full episodes of our podcast, you may look us up on Anchor, Spotify, or wherever your favorite podcasts are available. Just search for Outlaw Macho Drive-In. And if it's not too much trouble, would you help us out here? Spread the word, share. We would really appreciate it. Thank you. We love you. Bye.